I did find in the leadership race that it was difficult for people to see me as a potential winner because we just don't have a lot of examples of female prime ministers. When there's an image of somebody who's the Prime Minister of Canada and it is always male for 150 years, people can't look at you and see you in that position.
My first experience, I was probably about 15 years old, and it was the older boys' parliament in British Columbia. I had a dear girlfriend who I'm still friends with to this day, went, how can it be the older boys' parliament in British Columbia?
When people say to me, especially in our country where we're supposed to be equal, we have the charter, and when people say to me, why do we need women? Why does it, why are women's voices needed? Can't the men represent us? And I say that, people are 100%, 51% are women, and you want to speak for the majority. So how does that work? And today no Canadian man will have the guts to say that. But when I started, people did say, we can manage your issues. You go home, and I had young children then. You go home and look after the children. We can manage the issues. So we've come a long way, but in Canada we haven't. For the first time ever, we are 25% in the House of Commons. Not good enough. And it's not good enough. We're so low on the totem pole in other countries. I'll never forget when the Supreme Court of Canada had 30% women judges, and Bertha Wilson said, when I was alone, I was there. When there were two, we could make a little difference, but when we were three, we were really a voice, 30%. And that applies in anything, not just in politics, everywhere. In office, anywhere it applies, is that the 30% does make the difference.
More than 50% of our population are women. Women bring a completely different perspective to politics that I think is needed. Not necessarily to say that it's, they're just about the family, or, they're not, but there is a totally different perspective that is brought, and it's really important. And I think that, we see that a little bit. There's more and more women that are getting into politics, whether that's they're politicians or on the back end, like myself, running organizations. But it's really important, I think. And I think women have a lot to offer, and, we're right up there with our male counterparts.
I firmly believe that women come to the table with different solutions. Absolutely, there's no question. We have a broader diversity of experience. We're used to keeping, frankly, many more balls in the air at any given time. It's about negotiation, arbitration, flexibility. It's no longer, in my view, about just the bluster of the backroom political moment. It's about getting into the front room and deciding how you want your communities to unfold, your province to unfold, your country to unfold. Huge opportunity.
The 30% does make the difference.
I certainly think that the world belongs to those who show up. Women are showing up in ever increasing numbers, and they're getting the job done. Can we bring a viable solution to the table? Can we create vibrancy in community? Can we build free enterprise? Can we build resiliency in children? We do all those things usually before breakfast.